In the small town of Riverton, a boy named Ethan lived with his parents. Ethan was smart, ambitious, and full of dreams. He wanted to be the best in school, start a business, and one day travel the world. But he had one habit that held him back. He talked too much about his plans. Whenever Ethan had a new goal, he couldn't keep it to himself. He told his friends, his teachers, even his neighbors. "I'm going to top the exams this year," he would say. "I have an amazing business idea that will make me successful." People admired his confidence. His friends praised him. His teachers encouraged him, and his parents felt proud. But as time passed, Ethan realized something strange. He never actually achieved the things he talked about. He would start studying, but get distracted. He would plan a business idea, but never take real action. The excitement of talking about his dreams made him feel good, but it never turned into success. One evening, Ethan sat in the town's old bookshop, feeling frustrated. That's when he met Mr. Hayes, the wise old owner of the shop. Mr. Hayes had seen Ethan many times, always talking about his goals. He smiled and said, "Ethan, you have great dreams. But tell me, have you achieved them?" Ethan sighed. "I try, but somehow things don't go as planned." The old man nodded. "Let me tell you a story. It might change the way you think." In a faraway village, there were two farmers, Oliver and James. Both wanted to grow the best wheat field in the village. Oliver loved talking about his plans. Every evening, he sat in the town square telling people, "I will have the biggest wheat farm. My crops will be golden and tall." People clapped and admired his vision. But while he was busy talking, he forgot to water his crops on time. He didn't remove weeds, and he didn't prepare for bad weather. James, on the other hand, said nothing. He worked silently, watering, protecting, and improving his crops every day. Months later, a storm hit the village. Oliver's field was weak and destroyed. But James's field stood strong, full of golden wheat. When people saw James's success, they asked, "Why didn't you tell us about your plans?" James smiled and said, "Because success doesn't come from talking, it comes from working." Ethan sat in silence, thinking about the story. Mr. Hayes placed a book in front of him and said, "Ethan, words are like arrows. Once you speak, they lose their power. But when you work in silence, your actions become unstoppable." That day, something changed inside Ethan. He stopped announcing his goals and started working quietly. He studied harder without telling his friends. He planned his business and worked on it secretly. At first, people noticed his silence. "Ethan, why don't you talk about your dreams anymore?" they asked. Ethan just smiled. Months later, his results were announced. He became the top student in his school. His small business started making money. His dreams were finally turning into reality. His friends were shocked. "Ethan, you used to talk so much. "What changed?" Ethan smiled and said, "Success speaks louder than words." Lesson for you. Talking about your goals gives you false satisfaction. Work in silence instead. Not everyone will support your dreams. Protect them by keeping them to yourself. Let your success make the noise, not your words. So, what will you choose today? Talking or doing? The choice is yours.